So I'm going to keep it real with you guys like I always do. Because I know some people are going to respond to this video and say, why are you giving these people any of your attention? But truthfully, they are getting the minimal amount of my attention. Because there is no talking to them, I might as well be talking to this wall of VHS behind me. It is quite literally a conversation that will go nowhere. But honestly, I enjoy making videos like this because I enjoy exposing who the real toxic fandom are. You always see conversation about review bombers and grifters on YouTube, but you almost never see conversation about toxic positivity, and that's because it doesn't fit the narrative. So if I have to make another video to expose the hypocrisy going on in the clown world we currently find ourselves in, then so be it. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
For those that don't know, last week I did a spoiler-free review of Across the Spider-Verse, and I got a decent reaction to it. I was kind of lukewarm or indifferent about the film, but I still gave it a fair score based on my criteria. And the conversation in the comments of that video was relatively healthy, much to my surprise. Most of the people who disagreed with me were respectful, and I appreciate them for that. Because to me, that is what film discussion is all about, and what it has always been about.
Goddamn right, that's the only way I work, Cap.
But then I did another video talking about the overwhelmingly positive Rotten Tomatoes score, a type of video that I've done for a lot of movies. Because when it comes right down to it, I strongly believe that that site is pure garbage, and that it has done unspeakable damage to the film industry overall. The purpose of that video was not to dunk on the movie. In fact, if you actually took the time to watch it, I actually poke holes in a negative review of the film as well.
You didn't see that coming.
Something that apparently went unnoticed by some, but it's not surprising because most people are lazy and like to react to things emotionally without thinking. The sign of a weak-minded individual who is incapable of rational thought or critical thinking. I simply commented on the notion that this movie is a masterpiece and how that sounds ridiculous to me. While the reaction to that video wasn't quite as civilized.
Move this man!
Because once the Twitter crowd got a hold of it, all hell broke loose, similar to the reaction to my Scream 6 video. And I have to be honest with you, the level of insecurity displayed by these people over another person's opinion could possibly rival the toxic Scream 5 and Scream 6 fanbase. I wasn't expecting that from the Spider-Man fanbase. I received everything from a death threat to being called a white supremacist over a movie opinion.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Because that's where we are now. People are so comfortable on social media, hiding behind their anime profile pictures, that they think they can say whatever they want without consequence. Well, I'm not hiding behind anything. My face is out there, my opinions are out there. And I have the balls to say things that a lot of you don't, and I think that scares some of you. I see it all the time on Twitter, and even with other content creators on YouTube. Either they have given up the willingness to accept and display independent thought, or they have just given in to the groupthink mentality.
So I strongly suggest that you wake the f up.
And on top of all of that, people fancy themselves as internet bullies now, and meanwhile they wouldn't say jack shit to you if they saw you in person. Because they don't have the heart for it, they aren't built like that, and that's because the internet has made them feel safe. And let's not forget how the inclusion of Miles Morales in this movie is now being used as a shield to deflect valid criticism.
Something very familiar about all this.
If you don't call Across the Spider-Verse a masterpiece, just like everyone else, and you don't regurgitate the same praise for it over and over again, just like everyone else, then you must be a racist or a white supremacist. And the fact that those words are thrown around so frequently now, it has made people afraid to speak honestly about certain movies. And I think a little bit of that is happening with Across the Spider-Verse.
That makes sense.
And then we have another issue of certain people making movies like this their whole identity. Something that happens a lot, specifically with superhero or comic book movies. So if anyone dare criticize them, these people take that as a personal attack. And why? Because they spent so much time obsessing over this movie and hyping it up in their head and on Twitter that they wouldn't dare let someone express an honest opinion about it that doesn't include unconditional praise.
Not up in here! Not up in here!
And then of course we have the recency bias, which happens with a lot of modern movies and their fan bases. It's where fans of movies like Across the Spider-Verse feel the need to compare this movie to movies of the past. Or even worse, they disrespect movies from the past as a way of building up this new thing that they love and have a way too personal connection to. I really do believe that the only reason a person would need to do that is because they feel insecure about their own opinions.
S-O-F capital T. Soft. Huh?
I'm confident in my opinion, and I can explain why I like a movie without putting something else down. Let me make something very clear to everyone, and this goes out to people who hate follow me because they have no life apparently, and to people who consistently try to discredit my opinion with whatever rationale. I have nothing to prove to any of you. I know who I am, I know why I'm doing this, I know what I ultimately want out of making these videos, and I know what I like and dislike about movies.
Man, I'm tired of being right.
I don't say things just to say them. If you are mad at my titles or my thumbnails, then you can blame YouTube for that. And I've never once put anything in a thumbnail or a title that I haven't backed up in the video or talked about. I'm not clickbaiting, I'm not grifting, I'm not shilling, I'm just being real. Don't compare me to anyone else on this platform because there is no comparison.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Everything that I've accomplished here has been because of my hard work and my dedication to my passion of cinema. If I criticize something, that means I want better for it, and that means that I care. If you don't understand the difference between criticism and hate and negativity, then this isn't the place for you. I'm not going to sugarcoat my opinions and hold your hand just to make things more digestible for you.
Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
As for the people who want to threaten me or hurl insults in my direction over movie opinions, I say be my guest. There's nothing you can say that I haven't already heard. And there's nothing that you can say to make me change the way I do things on this channel. I make videos for the people who watch me regularly and for the people who haven't found me yet, not for you. If you want to hate share my videos, be my guest, because I'm winning in that situation no matter what.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Sure, you'll get validated by your 40 Twitter followers, but I'll be here prospering and telling the truth, and trying to inspire change both in the film industry and how people talk about films. As for Across the Spider-Verse, honestly, I gave this movie the benefit of the doubt, and I was as objective as I could possibly be in my review. But I have to be honest with you, this whole experience has really changed my perception of that movie. The toxicity and the conversation around this film has ruined it for me, similar to how toxic MCU fanboys once upon a time ruined the MCU for me.
I don't care!
When it comes right down to it, I could care less about this movie. I have no interest in ever having a conversation about it again because it's not worth my time and energy. I would much rather focus my energy on things that I actually care about than I would talking about this movie that had literally zero impact on me.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.